$2 and I could imagine anything. The summer of 2004, on the side of a mountain in Italy, when I posed to myself the question if I could do anything, if everything was on the table and there were no blocks, that anything was possible, what would I do? And the answer was resoundingly, I would go rally racing. I guess I just the kind of person that just wants to find the truth in everything, and I mean that's what I'm after with my racing, is the truth about where I fit in all of it, and where I am as a driver, or where I am as a friend, or where I am as a track designer, or where I am as whatever. I just want to find the truth of it. There's always a little tinge of fear, I mean, because you can't control anything. The whole world's out of your control. I mean, you can only kind of guide it in the direction you want, and just hope. I mean, you could second guess anything about your life at any point all day long. If there was a race here in Central Texas, I think a lot of people that are interested in the sport will build cars and show up. We have the disadvantage in Texas because we are isolated from the sport for the most part from the rest of the world, and because we're in Central Texas, most people can drive all the way across their state in less time than it takes them to drive from the border of Texas to where we are. To be perfectly honest, I didn't know I was going to be the rally organizer. I thought I was poking an organizer with a stick, and they said, yeah, we should do that. That's a great idea. And then the next thing I know, I'm having all these calls and emails directed to me, and then someone forwards me a message where it stated that I was the one in charge, and I'm like, okay, so I had a lot of catching up to do. So once I realized that I was being looked at as the person in charge, I stepped up, nervously, but I stepped up, and I think I learned all the things I needed to learn to make it happen. My priority is to make the event happen. If I can make the event happen and compete in it, that'll be great, but that will definitely mean some of those crazy nights. Get the rules published and start coordinating with other people to get tech inspectors out and to do all the little things that get probably some 30, 40 plus people together to run the event on race day. I had lots of time on the tractor out there, just sculpting the track and knocking down the high spots and just making it something that you can bring almost any car out to, so that we can encourage as many people as possible to participate. I had a major breakthrough last night on 2 levels. First of all, I actually finally learned how to really control the blade and to get the results I want. I've probably increased my productivity by about tenfold because of that. And then I kept running out of daylight. That's been my big race every day, stupid daylight savings time. I also have 2 cars to get ready, and we've had the Pike Speed car from this year taken apart, and I have a lot of parts that were borrowed off of that car that I had to get back after the race, and then I have to come up with replacement parts. And then I guess the hardest thing for me to do this last week would have been trying to figure out how to put a car back together that 4 or 5 different people have worked on. Yesterday, the original organizer and financier of the event started texting me with, how would you say, they started texting me with the idea that we should cancel the event because we only had 3 cars and 1 motorcycle entered. And then, actually that would be 2 cars with 3 drivers and 1 motorcycle entered, and our threshold was 6. It's gonna happen. I'm not gonna let them back out. They don't know it yet. I told them that I talked to the track manager in the morning, and then we'd make a call then. And but really, I can't imagine that he won't do whatever it takes to make this happen. So, I mean, I could be surprised. I've certainly been wrong before. It's sad that it's not going to happen, but you can't say that we didn't try, and you can't say that there wasn't an event available, and it was here, and nobody can say, you know, you didn't try. So we have everything we need done. I've had all my big learning curve in the last 3.5 weeks, and all the paperwork's done. Everything's in position to hold the next event, and it'll be much, much easier. And we'll have the warning that everyone, or the heads up, early notice that everyone was wishing we had for this event, because it was an event that was historically set on Thanksgiving weekend. The
circumstances that under which this event fell through were almost predictable. It was a change of venue with very short notice. This time of year on Thanksgiving weekend, you got a lot of people that are family oriented, and they've already made commitments to their families or traveling. And so I thought from the very beginning that it would be a long shot to really pull off a well-attended event.
So we had to make a decision to postpone it. And then we also decided to go ahead and hold the time and the date, and have kind of like a meet and greet for all the people interested in this in the area. And we probably had 10 cars show up, and maybe 15, 20 people. Really amazing thing that came out of that day was a chance meeting with a guy that was just there with a friend to take pictures. And turns out he has a 400-acre ranch west of Austin, and he wants to host a rally sprint on the 4 miles of road he has on his ranch. So that part alone made me just ecstatic. And I didn't try to sell anything. I just had a casual conversation with someone. Definitely didn't go off as planned, but it started the snowball effect, and that's really all I wanted in the first place. And so I would consider that, in spite of not being what I'd set out to do, it's still a success. So Sunday we had the 10th and final event of the year for Texas Rally Sport here at my own track that we have here on the property. And I think we had about 36 racers, 6 of which were my family, which is probably my favorite part of the whole thing, and the highlight ending to the end of the year. My mother, my father, my brother, my sister, and myself, and my sister's husband all raced in the Rallycross on Sunday. And everyone except my father, who did his first race at the last event, it was all their first ever Rallycross. And on Monday morning, I had my sister and her husband emailing me, wanting me to help them find a car to have their own race car.
You have some good spots, but you need to be braver with the gas pedal. It's okay to make mistakes here, Mom.
Because the one thing that I've really regretted about my last 8 years of racing is the time spent away from my family and friends, and to now come full circle and have all my family and friends joining me in my greatest passion is got to be the most amazing thing that I could have ever hoped for. I mean, how do you ask for anything more than that?